flows with predestination, you have to pay attention to where you are going to not have any accidents along the way. The breadcrumbs leading to the bedroom are hints and details of conversation. When times and circumstances locked our hands away from each other, we couldn't say goodbye, but we couldn't say hello in person. We could not let our bodies break taboo, too many vulnerable people in the fallout, so we linked our hearts through our lips. So baby, hop on the phone and tell me a story. I record the melody of your moans on the inside of my ear, playing it back when these four walls seem less decorative and more prison. Give me the ocean of your sound, the depth and the width of you. If I can drown in you for 20 minutes, baby, I can breathe here for 20 years. My magic is in my mouth. Tie my hands, restrict my body, blindfold me. Let these lips spellbind you before you know what my handprints feel like. Even in the times when we can't be connected, even now, in the times where we can be, lend me your ear, Roman. Let me spin you the tales of erotic legends, sweaty lips and hungry mouths, ecstatic feasts of flesh. Touch yourself, you are allowed. Feel my hands in place of yours. Close your eyes and listen. Creating a room. The click of cuffs, matching rhythms with consonants, drop of tone, adding weight and severity to the situation, drip fed into hungry ears. Conducting this chorus, I will lean you over the edge so you can feel the weight of this height before you fall. And when you do fall, you will thank me for the wind. The magic is in our mouths, the ability to create solid texture through sound, to reveal ourselves while being unseen. The magic is listening. Do I have your attention yet? Thank you.
Welcome to the Dime Experience.
Welcome to the Dime Experience
Podcast brought to you by R.A.R.E Media.
What's going on, y'all?
I am Dominus.
I'm Cinnamon.
And I'm Chef Mike, who's also very thirsty.
Look.
Hello.
Man, this boy was cooking up them words. Wait, I think I'm going to quote you right quick. Yes. He said, and I quote, "I can drown in you for 20 minutes and live for 20 years because of that."
Yes.
God damn.
If I can drown in you for 20 minutes, I can breathe here for 20 years. And that is a real statement.
Come on, man. Stop playing. Stop playing. That's my motto now.
Look, y'all invited me here. I can't come halfway. I couldn't come halfway.
I feel that.
It's mutual respect.
I feel that.
It's mutual respect.
I feel that, man. Poets, man. If you never had a poet, better get you one. Shout out to Smut.
Real? Yeah.
It's a very rare occasion where I'm speechless on my own podcast. And yet, here we are.
Well, I think this is right. Just hop on into how we feel.
Let's do it.
Let's hop on into a check-in. I think it might be a good one to start with. How is your mind? And
you want to go first?
I am fed. I was thinking once, like right before we started, that like I used to say I was a sapiosexual, and like this month is Sensual September, and like hopping into sensuality outside of just like, and pleasure outside the like just the physical. And I was like, we've been doing a good deal of like spoken word and poetry over the past like 2 weeks. Like we've had a good flow of like starting with good words, and that brings me pleasure. So like my mind is like
I like
full right now, like satiated.
I like that.
Yeah. How your mind?
My mind is inspired. Like your words, they definitely took me to wherever you was taking them. Like I felt like there. Like whoever you was talking to, I felt them feeling everything you was saying. Like baby, pick up the phone. I saw her pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like my mind was literally there, and that was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Oh man, that means a tremendous amount coming from you, especially.
Oh man, stop it.
You've been in the game for a while, man.
Thank you,
so much imagery.
Yeah, I learn from the best. Copy people. My mind, I'm excited. In that like joy of just like new experiences. I'm in a personal like big transitional period of my life, so a lot of new things are popping up. So I'm trying to approach those new things with a sense of joy and wonder, like we would when we were kids. You know, so that's where I'm at. I'm in the state of joy.
Oh, that reminds me. My mind is in planning.
Also.
We're also in. Like,
Also. But you know, my immediate mind was that poem.
Here.
Yeah.
But today.
But my overall mind is all over the place.
We're scheming and dreaming over here.
Yes.
Scheming and dreaming. Love scheming.
Happy
Like
2023. It's gonna be a beautiful year. I can see it already.
Our motto is
I can
world
see it
domination with
already.
aftercare.
Yes.
Lord willing, you know, because you plan a picnic, but you can't predict the weather. But
Like
Lord
that.
willing, it's gonna be a beautiful year.
2023, we coming.
Yes. Okay, let's go with body. How is your body?
I'm gonna let one of y'all go first on that one.
Admittedly, my body is a little upset with me right now. Earlier today, I made a recipe that I normally make. It's a Chinese dish called mapo tofu, and it's known for being both very spicy, but also you use a special type of peppercorn called Sichuan peppercorns that make your tongue go numb.
So that you can handle the spice.
Yeah, it gives you a really cool tingling sensation. To put it simply, like Sichuan peppercorns, the plant that they grow into are also the main ingredients in Novocaine.
Oh shit.
So a good mapo tofu, you can tell because you're also gonna get that tingle, you're gonna get that spice. Well, somehow I misbalanced my thing and I got a lot more spice than I did tingle. So my body's just kind of like, brother, you know how to do this. Why did you play your favorite song incorrectly? Which, take chances, get messy, make mistakes, especially in the kitchen. But yeah, so my body's a little upset, but we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
Wow. I have some inflammation in the right side of my mid back that is traveling down my lower back. Don't really know what to do about it. I went to the chiropractor on Tuesday, and that's how we found out it was there. So I'm learning to listen to my body, and I've just been like resting. It's my first back thing that isn't just random back pain.
Heard. It's like a concentrated back thing.
Yeah, it's just normally I have knots, but this is there's an inflamed thing. So we're figuring that out.
My body is craving food.
Hey.
I'm super hungry. All I had today was like a burrito bowl, and I couldn't really enjoy that because of the nature of my daytime occupation. I can't really enjoy my food because I always got to do something.
Right, so it's just shovel it in, get the food in.
And then eventually it was sitting there for an hour.
And was that too long because you got caught up?
Yep.
And ever since then, I had nothing to eat. And I went home, I laid down so I could get ready for this. And here I am, hungry.
Right, perky and hungry.
But I still got my energy.
Right, perky and hungry.
Shout out to whatever fat I have on my body.
Prepared for the droughts.
The Wi-Fi just did a beeping thing.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much. What about your heart?
Ooh. My heart's actually in a good place. My heart's in a really delightful place. A very gracious gratitude. I'm a poet. I can use words. Gratitude is where my heart is.
Hey.
Yeah.
My heart keeps falling on the teardrop. That's how that song goes.
The sad part is I had a song too. Awesome
my heart is as full as it's ever been. Love is in me. Love is around me. Love is leaving me. It's just, yeah.
My heart is full. I feel like Bay and I are falling more in with each other every day.
You said in life?
In life as well. We ain't going nowhere.
She ain't like me all pandemic.
That's not true.
I was just doing my thing.
That's not true.
I was trying to stay happy in the midst of all it all.
He was trying to stay away from the storm.
How dare you be happy?
I was going.
Do you see me right now? How dare you be happy? I'm just playing. That's not how it works.
That was kind of how it was. Certain points, but yeah, that's fun. I like falling more in with Bay and Bay falling more in with me, and it's been 5 years, so to be able to find more and more things as we grow, it's cool. My heart is my heart spirit is singing do you remember
Oh
the
yeah.
21st night of September, which is a thing because today is my grandmother's birthday, which is
Gotcha.
21st September. And so I have been resting in bed but thinking of her memory, and also having long conversations with my mom and stuff like that this morning. So
That's nice, though.
I feel like warm and fuzzy. It's nice. Yeah, that's my heart.
So do you remember R.A.R.E, dancing in September?
That's why I did it for the cookout.
Look,
That's exactly why I did that song for the cookout.
that was the
gonna have to
best
post
moment
that.
for the
We're gonna have to
cookout.
post that later.
We
Man.
do have to post that later.
If y'all were not at the cookout, that show that happened in the Twilight Lounge, you missed my food, which
Oh my God.
But then you
My
also
God, my
missed
God.
one of the best shows ever to happen.
Ever.
The vibe was insane.
It
Jesus
was.
Christ. I cried a couple times.
Look,
And not because it was sad, because I was just that damn happy.
it
And
was joy.
in the
It was church.
church.
in the way the music was coming, you really felt everything.
Everything.
I said last week it was church and liquid sex mixed
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a kink. Church and liquid sex.
I was like,
that's a
it's the
combo.
first place that I felt the whole idea of sexual energy and being sacred energy,
Oh yeah.
and not
Which-
two separate
It's always
things.
the same,
Right.
It's just been
There's rare spaces
perverted.
for you
It's
to
just been
feel
perverted.
it.
Yeah.
It's in the back, let them use you.
But I love that combination of both sexual energy and sacred energy happened at a space curated like a black cookout.
Exactly.
Come on now, stop playing, man.
Can we just take that? Look, that's a real thing.
And that the energy transcended even the makeup of the audience.
Right.
Like it was still
It was a very close. Not when I say a closed circuit, I don't mean like a exclusion, but it was very much like the give and take was very equitable. Mm-hmm. Like if you walked into that room, you were caught up in it.
Yeah.
Like you walked into the room and you were just smiling, and it was
you had no choice. If you knew what a cookout was or not, you had no choice.
exactly. If you had no clue what a cookout was, you left it. You're like, I know how to do the electric slide now. I'm ready.
Right.
I'm not on the mac and cheese level, but I can show up and not embarrass myself. I'm ready.
I know the
Leave
directions
potato
to
salad
go.
at home.
Exactly.
I don't understand the polyrhythm of it yet,
I
but
don't
I
like
know
grapes
the
in my
directions.
potato
Bare
salad.
minimums.
Outrageous.
Bare minimums.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm side talking.
All I heard was raisin. Okay, we started on the How's Your Spirit just in this moment.
My spirit is still teasing me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's literally telling me everything that's about to happen, and I gotta sit here and work for it. How dare you?
Gotcha.
How dare
Gotcha.
you? How dare you say all of this is yours and it's gonna happen on this day, at this time? But you gotta meet me there.
You gotta meet me there. Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Right. Meanwhile,
I gotta work for it.
everything is coming at you this way and that way. But you're gonna get there if you believe.
If you believe.
If you believe, I keep having these moments,
And that's my
of,
spirit. It ain't like nothing else. It's just me telling myself this.
I can go the distance.
my spirit is great. I had a moment yesterday where was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. No, Monday, where I did a reading and my listening opened up more and deeper. Where I was where my friend who's I've been reading for them for a while, watched me have a conversation with myself as I was also telling them what was happening via, and so that was cool. And then similar to where John is, I keep having these moments. I'm in this artist class where things keep shifting or opening up. I'm trying to figure out where I can do these 1 or 2 day residencies every month, intensives, because that's apparently how I create. And my brain was but I need money in order, my flesh is but I need money in order to happen.
Yeah.
Or how am I supposed to do this? And I get a little frustrated. And then over the course of the next couple of days, it's just an ellipses, and my spirit's you already have this.
Yeah.
You already have that. You need that. Oh, it's already there. They already know you. They're just waiting for you to call type things.
I want money.
then everything just falls. Look, we all want money.
I don't need it. But
I mean, money is ease. Mm-hmm. How's your spirit?
My spirit is a little bewildered at the moment, but good.
Nice.
Bewildered because there have been a lot of things. Like I said, I'm in a transitional period. So we're both kind of like at that point where we've gotten in line for the roller coaster. We've buckled in, and my spirit's looking at me like, "You ready for this? You sure about this, motherfucker? Like, we here. Like, it's too late really to go back. But you good?" And I'm sitting there just like, "I don't know if I'm good, but I'm here." So we're kind of bewildered at the changes that are happening, but also still open to them happening.
Nice.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's fair.
This is the opportunity, if you are tuning in on either of our platforms, for you to check in with yourself and with us. Take a deep breath and see, how is your body? How is your mind? How is your spirit? How is your heart? And if you feel comfortable, let us know in the comments. We read those. And we will be right back. This is the Dom Experience Podcast presented by R.A.R.E Media. See you in a second.
1, 2.
If I tell you my secrets, would you keep them? Let me know, girl, I gotta know, yeah. I just need to know, yeah. If I tell you my secrets, would you keep them? Let me know, girl, I gotta know. I just need to know.
With these hoes, treat you like the best of them. I will never treat you like the rest of them, 'cause I fuck with you too hard, baby. I'm the moon and you're the star.
Tell you my secrets, would you keep them? Let me know, girl, I gotta know. I just need to know, yeah. If I tell you my secrets, would you keep them? Let me know, girl, I gotta know. I just need to know.
Welcome back to the Dom Experience Podcast.
All right,
Presented
we
by
gonna get
R.A.R.E Media.
This is the day.
getting all these giggles out.
Look.
There we go.
I spent most of today in like slightly crappy back spasmy rest pain.
Oh,
and
Lord.
I thought I was gonna be grumpy today, but this vibe is immaculate.
Right?
This vibe is immaculate.
Exactly.
From the moment we saw you walking down the
I was
street,
like, he looks so happy.
you have such a joyous walk.
That's funny because I was fighting so hard to be like, this motherfucker better take my payment from my parking. I was. I'm glad my spirit spoke over my body.
It did.
Your spirit definitely spoke over your
body, bro.
I like, this is just always so fun because we just get to chat with our friends. This like makes up a little bit for the fact that we don't have as many things at the house as we used to. Like,
Oh, like
we
parties
used to
and
have
stuff.
like parties
we
and
used to have
gatherings
some
at our
parties
house all the
Bro,
time.
Y'all ain't never come to a party I threw.
Yeah.
My
This
parties
is
used to be epic. We're gonna throw one for old times.
We are going to throw one
Please
for old
do.
time's sake.
Let me know.
Yeah, one was crawfish and coloring.
Yeah. So, okay.
on, man.
Eventually we will introduce you.
Crawfish and
Look, I
coloring.
have PTO to spare. Let
We
me know.
we would regularly have these
Like, I give
like
a fuck about this job. Sorry.
We had
we regularly have
gourmet
these
grilled
themed
cheese
events
parties
at the house, and so we've had like a pancake party
where
we've
everybody
had
made different types of pancakes.
crawfish and coloring, like, and the vibe is like you come and you bring your energy and you bring like your food, right? And so like folks would bring pancakes or waffles. I think somebody did
made
waffles. different types of pancakes would happen, and then like a bar to make it.
I made cookie butter.
Yeah, he made cookie butter pancakes. We've had crawfish and coloring, so we had a bunch of coloring stuff, and crawfish boil, obviously. My favorite one, probably not my favorite one. It's not my favorite one, but the one I planned was a meal prep party.
Oh yeah, that one was
So
good.
everyone brought a dish, like a meal and a Tupperware, and then you just
Yo, yes.
Yeah, that one was
so
fire.
you left
Yes,
with like
yes.
you left with like a week of meal, or at least like 5
I
to 7.
love that.
And a
meals
bunch
to
of
take.
different meals. Though.
I love that though, because that's my only thing about like meal prep in and of itself. Like I love food, and I also love my own cooking. But it does get annoying to be like, all right, now I gotta have the same,
Right.
vegetarian lasagna for the next 3 days,
Right.
4 days.
But anywho, who you be?
Yeah.
Who I be? So
you be?
yeah, my name is Mike Marina, also known as Chef Mike. I am a myriad of different things. I'm a chef, personal chef, private caterer. I'm a poet. I wear a few different hats. Completely unprofessional dancer.
Completely unprofessional.
Completely unprofessional.
You've seen him on the Mardi Gras route.
You've seen me, yeah, Mardi Gras route. You might have seen me if you were out in New Orleans for Decadence Festival. I was the big dude with the bronze belly shooting bubbles out of 2 bubble guns. Also, if you're a Beatles fan, I was in Paul McCartney's music video, Come On To Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Search that one out.
We're going to watch it during the break real quick.
Oh,
You
please.
haven't seen it?
I don't think I have.
Oh, Lord.
Good. Okay.
You can also find, if you're on Facebook, I think this is still active because they search book. Professional entertainer, y'all. Facebook's algorithms are weird, but if you search in your gifts, Black Boy Joy, I should be within like the top 6 or
Oh
so.
yeah, you are one of those gifts. I know that.
Yeah, so I do a few different things. I've been on the Food Network a couple of times, Netflix once.
Flex.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Flex.
I just love how many bosses I know in real life.
Still got to pay that light bill like everybody else.
That's what they
But,
don't tell you when you're a kid. Like,
Right, you think that it's like you do your thing and that's it. No.
just
The light
because
bill
you're
just get
well
higher.
known, right? Just
Yeah.
because you're well known does not mean you get consistent.
I feel like TLC taught us all that lesson. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
That is true.
Also a Kingster, erotic poet, avid video gamer, lover of chicken wings.
What's your favorite video game?
My favorite video game? I have a top 3.
Okay, go ahead.
Nice.
Legend of Zelda, any game. Any one of the Legends of Zelda.
Okay.
There's a game called Monster Hunter that is my absolute favorite, even though I can't recommend it to anybody.
It'd be like that.
There's just some real nerdy reasons. I love Monster Hunter, but I know that I'm weird.
Gotcha.
So
I
it's
got you.
It's not for everybody.
But it's for you.
Exactly.
I got it.
And my third favorite is actually Super Mario. I'm into the classics.
That's me.
Yeah,
I play Super Mario still.
that's what I'm talking about.
Nice. Do we have Spyro at the house?
I believe so.
We do.
I believe so.
Can we? Okay.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Anyway, what's your favorite part of the chicken wing?
Oh, ooh.
That's a good question. Y'all should answer that too. What's your favorite part of the chicken wing?
I'm a drumette person.
A drumette.
Yeah. I'm a drumette person.
So what you're saying is, if we were eating whole wings together, you take the drumettes and I could have the tips and flats.
If we're eating whole wings, I'm eating whole wings.
I was about to say that's my favorite part of the wing.
There we go.
The whole fucking
It is nothing
wing.
but capitalism that has divided the wing into 2 different pieces. Oh, some bullshit.
You're right. I was thinking in black mindset. I was thinking of
It
bonding.
ain't nothing but capitalism that divided the wing. That is
The
a
wing
quote.
into some bullshit.
I'm just trying to figure out why, when capitalism divided the wing, what did they do with all these tips? Because I just want the
They
tips.
just throw the tips away.
They just throw the tips away.
I just want the tips.
And they be rolling.
Well, yeah,
That's
true.
what she said, by the way.
Yeah.
In a few of the kitchens, when we served our own chicken wings, what we did when we were breaking down chickens, we would save all the tips. That's what we used to make our chicken stock. And if we ever had to make like a pan gravy, like a pan sauce, that's what you use your tips for. So you just grab your skillet, your onions, garlic, whatever, toss in your wing tips, sear them off, and then you add in your butter, your flour, your seasonings, and add in your stock. That's how you make your gravy.
Nice.
That's good.
I grew up in a family of Caribbean folks and women who just always loved, like, that's the section that we would fight over.
The kitchen?
flat and tip.
Oh, the flat and the tips. Oh, yeah.
Like, the drums would just stay there. Flats and
It'd be
tips.
flats and tips.
Yeah.
I have that love for tips for like turkey wings.
Oh, the turkey wings are different.
Those tips. Now
You can have the
those tips,
turkey
they be
tips.
so good.
You can have the turkey tip.
It's the skin, really. Like that skin, especially if it's like
nice and
it be like
crispy.
melting. I like it when it's
Yes.
melting off.
You get that
the crispy
caramel-
other melt.
I like crispy.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Oh damn, I'm
took
hungry now for real.
Full detour.
Stop.
You brought the wrong person onto this
I know.
podcast. and you're hungry.
I wasn't
Side
thinking.
note, we need to
That's
talk
that's the
about
retrograde teasing me.
foodstuffs for this household over here and personal chef stuff, but that's a whole
I'm totally down for
separate
conversations.
situation.
Good point.
Look, the universe has all we need,
Right.
and
We do not operate from a place of lack.
this
Fair enough.
But
Man, it's church today.
it is church today. It
Anyway.
is church today. I started thinking about food and like all the like.
I got a just random question.
go for it.
This is how it's gonna be today. It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Oh,
popcorn
let's
style.
go.
Cool. Let's rock it. Popcorn style.
What's your relationship with food and sex?
Ooh, that was.
See, that's a good
similar
one.
question.
So, all right. I can only answer this question from my lens as like a personal chef and caterer. So with that, understand that part of my job is to like, if I'm hired by a couple and they want me to create a meal for them, and if they've bought the package where I create like dishes for them, I have to understand how that couple works as a dynamic as two people and how each person works as an individual. So my connection between sex and food is that just like a lover, the more you communicate, the better your stuff will be at the end. And to take your time as well. Because my favorite thing to do, I tell my partner oftentimes, much to her chagrin, that I only have like 2 tricks. I write poems and I cook, and that's pretty much it. That's all I'm all really good for it. If your car breaks down, baby, I got AAA and a good playlist. We will be rocking and waiting at the same time, and I'll make you a banging carbonara when we get home. But I also like have like my partner, like she's vegetarian, you know, so I try to understand like her wants and desires as far as like food goes. So whenever I cook her dinner, it's not always like making the same thing, but also something that she's interested in, and also something that like it's good for her body. Because when you cook for somebody, you are giving them something like saying like, hey, I made this for you. Nourish your body and do what you want to do with it. What I put on this plate is going to help you achieve all of that.
Come on now.
To me, that's a sacred contract, you know? So just like when I present my body or my lover presents their body to me, it's again a sacred contract of like what I'm going to do to you, for you, is for the benefit of you. And if I try to go in that with any sort of like wild assumptions or any sort of like what's the phrase I'm looking for? If I try to make assumptions about how a person's body works without talking to them, and then that's just me being lazy, being cocky, and neither of those things are appropriate in the bedroom or any place
Or
in
the
a
kitchen.
relationship. Know what I'm saying? So, with food, with sex, with love, with relationships, it's all to me like a manner of communication, patience, and being willing to do the work.
I love it. God damn.
So y'all,
I'm gonna snap my fingers.
post-sex, favorite snacks?
Vanilla ice cream.
For him, it's ice cream.
Sometimes with caramel sauce.
Classic.
Very
I
classic.
like it.
Because vanilla is not boring.
Right.
It
Right.
actually has flavor.
Say it one more time for the listeners in
Vanilla
the back.
is
Say it one more
not
time.
boring.
Vanilla has never been boring.
I like a good cup of tea.
Ooh.
Like thinking about my little aftercare, little setup that it's normally tea. There's normally some type of fruit, probably.
I like fruit after sex as well.
And like if I'm in a sweets mood or a chocolate mood, then there's the chocolate has to have toffee or caramel and like almonds or pecans.
Gotcha.
Like, so a good symphony bar, or have we told the symphony bar story on the podcast yet? Or a turtle.
Please do.
Or, oh my God, okay, so it's a rare combination. It's not a rare combination, but nobody ever feels like making like oatmeal chocolate chip, like toffee nut cookies.
Real.
Like it's always oatmeal raisin, oatmeal chocolate chip raisin.
Yeah.
Oatmeal, like that would be the all the time in my aftercare kit. But the symphony bars. So why are you heavy sided?
Such a whore.
Oh, I'm definitely excited now.
So
I want recipes and stories.
So we've talked about how we got together. Essentially, we got together. A dear friend, gifted us to each other because I was looking for a dom to talk to as I jumped into BDSM, and like dating in New Orleans was hard enough.
Real.
Much less trying to find somebody to safely talk about kink with.
Yes.
And so originally,
good person.
Originally, we were just supposed to talk. We obviously did. We took it further.
Good conversation.
We started exploring me being his submissive. Eventually became his collared submissive, and we fell in love along the way. And now we're also in a relationship. But
now we standing in it.
Now we're standing in it. But also, I was not interested in monogamy.
Heard.
And
she didn't want to be with me.
That's not true.
Don't you do that?
It was her, y'all. For the record, y'all heard that line. It was her. I was trying to be a one-woman man. She made me a hoe. She pimped me.
It seems like you are getting into relationships so that you have a comfortable place to have like intimacy and sex. What if you just did that without the relationship? Because these relationships are not working out. Essentially,
your therapist said that to you?
Is amazing.
Wow.
She was like, "What would happen if?" And so I was like, God, I'm going exploring. And God was like, this is not going to end well, John. Let's just give you your person right now because your judge of character alone is not good. He'll be able to help you judge other people's characters a little bit better.
That's real.
You looking for BDSM stuff? Let's give you
a good barometer.
After one bad experience.
Yeah. Only takes one.
So we were.
You should make me look good.
You're amazing. We were non-monogamous in this.
Okay.
So that also meant that other people wanted to, like, I was trying to have sex with other people were trying to have sex with us individually or collectively, and we were in the same house. So
ooh, that's okay.
So we established a little rule, right? And that was, if you wanted to have sex with John, by all means, go ahead. Bring some chocolate for the house. Bring a symphony bar. Or
before you come to church to get your blessing, you have to pay your tithe.
Essentially.
I'm here for it. Yes.
And
yes.
And it wasn't like there was what?
I said it wasn't one chocolate bar.
So folks and the blessing of the offering, I guess, is folks knew me too, or were starting to get to know me too at this point in time, and they knew and loved John.
Yeah.
And so we're thinking one symphony bar, like a regular symphony bar, like this size. There was at one point in time where there was just extra large symphony bars. Folks would bring an extra large symphony bar and turtles and Snickers almonds.
Man.
And I was just like,
what's the Ferrero Rocher?
The Ferrero Rocher.
Oh my God.
Like, there was one moment where there was just always
a chocolate cabinet.
There was a chocolate
Y'all
cabinet.
had Willy Wonka's chocolate fucking factory.
And it wasn't like,
I don't know if I'm proud of that.
And it wasn't like, I feel like if anybody else would say that, they would be like, "Oh, you was just fucking and fucking and fucking." Like, as if it was
I love all of these people. I still talk to everybody.
Yeah.
But it was as if it was quantity, but it was really quality.
One person just bring like a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
would bring a bunch of stuff, and like these weren't like folks who were just like coming in and rotating in the house. It was like John and I both have a love of people.
Yeah,
and even before we were officially like facilitating safe spaces for people to explore like kink, we were safe spaces for people to explore sex.
That's real.
As we were exploring too.
And kink, and that's kind of how all of this started anyway.
But I think that really makes sense though. That also speaks to the caliber of people that y'all were allowing into that space. Because it's one thing for a person to show up and not appreciate what they're getting. And not to say that like people are commodities, but you understand what I mean when you have it. It's you can feel the difference, especially when you're in the dating world. You can feel the difference between a person who shows up just to show up and a person who shows up for you. So I feel like y'all getting all of the offerings is because y'all had people showing up for y'all.
Right.
That's true.
And appreciate it.
That's very true.
Yeah, and then we also learned a lot about how we approach folks.
Real.
Yeah, I
Communication.
think sometimes I have like that outside like voice that has nothing to do with me that always try to makes me feel guilty for everything I did that I actually kind of enjoyed.
Give me a high five.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
Like why am I having a good time?
Yeah.
Right, because typically we would see that happening in the like regular world and how like folks use sex or how folks portray someone who is being extra sexual, especially a man who's getting a lot of sex, and like how folks typically approach that, and that's just not what it was.
But I am
is.
hypersexual.
I mean, you are.
Well, that's
You are
not that's
hypersexual.
not negate that part.
Yeah.
I'm just like very
And these
intentional.
were very
I
fun
want. I
times.
mean, I had a poem that said I want to have sex with you. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, that is true.
But I also want to cook for you. I also want to spend time. I want to go out. I want to like, make sure you're okay. If you got a bobo, I put a Band-Aid on it. I still do all that too.
You can enjoy fucking people and caring about them at the
Definitely
same
want
time.
to fuck.
Yeah, those things aren't mutually exclusive. Like you can care for folks. I feel like you should.
And at least one of these experiences, I would just be sitting at the table or on the couch eating Chinese food and watching the fucking happen, which is great for my voyeur self. But it is time for us to take a little breath, a little water break.
I got one more food question too.
When we come back. This is the Dom Experience podcast presented by R.A.R.E Media. We will be right back after a little music break.
Take care, y'all. Prowess is making.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Look, we be going in.
Just talking.
That's why you gotta be on the behind the scenes and on the scene.
You got to be watching both at the same
You
time.
gotta be watching both at the same time.
Welcome back to the Dom Experience podcast, where we're trying to figure our food lives out over here.
Yeah, like I'm already hungry.
I'm thinking about
Part of my
nourishment.
energy.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being a
Just as a side note, those bombs.
for being a hero.
Those bombs
Were the bomb.
were the bomb.
Bad
If you
joke.
ever have an opportunity to try Mike's flavor bombs in whatever flavors they come, just come.
Can I talk about it right quick?
Yeah.
By all means.
Because I'm interested in your experience too, as someone who like tends to lean away from veggie things, but the veggie bomb was the one that you had.
So I love bread, first off. Straight off the back, I don't know if anybody knew that's about me. I love bread. I can eat bread plain. It don't matter. I love bread, right? So it's this beautiful round, and then I'm a visual person too.
Yay.
So it was like, I always say I like my bread light skin. I'm a colorist when it comes to bread. I don't care. But it was like the perfect golden. It was so pretty.
It was
so pretty and wrapped, and it kind of looked like a crown. And then it was like, you know, the garnish when people try to make their food look good, they put the little garnish on it. No, this was like freshly
It all had purpose.
garnished. It all looked pretty. It was perfect. It was ready. It was a crown being served. And
Crown for a king.
then when you bite into it, because I didn't get the meat one, I got the veggie one. So I was expecting just a mushroom filling. There was this cheese oozing out of it. I believe there was potatoes.
Yes.
I knew that was potatoes. I
was
wasn't
potatoes
sure
in
because
it,
my
yeah.
mind was like, wait a minute. What is this texture?
Yeah. There was roasted potatoes.
And
in
then
it.
it was roasted potatoes and then the mushroom sauce, and it was just all like exploding.
Did you have it with the
literally
pesto?
Huh?
Did you have the pesto?
Yes.
with it?
Oh, then the pesto, the almond pesto.
Yes,
Got to be
the almond
specific.
pesto.
It wasn't
Yeah.
just like
Wasn't a regular
It wasn't
pesto.
pine nuts or sesame seeds. It was almond pesto. And then you dip it in there. It just tastes so goddamn good. It was literally exploding in your mouth. And then I was trying to film the whole time. I would have got another one, but I had to work. So I couldn't enjoy it like I wanted to otherwise. But I had
You had one
mine.
at home?
I had mine before. I did have one at home, but it still wasn't fresh from.
It wasn't the same.
It wasn't
Yeah.
fresh. I had to warm that up.
Yeah.
The one that came as soon as he served it, it literally exploded in my mouth, and it has not left yet.
It was that lasting impression. I had the beef birria one. Birria?
Birria. Yeah.
Birria.
Birria.
And I took it in the back because I still had to put makeup and stuff on my face. And I was
Probably
like, I want to dip this, but it's too big to fit in the cup. So I was like, I'm gonna cut it in half. And I expected that when I cut it, that everything was gonna fall apart and I was gonna have this
It did
like
not.
mess. And no, it split into two beautiful halves.
Oh my God.
It wasn't dry.
It was never dry.
It was not dry. And like that was the two extremes that I was expecting. I'm gonna cut it and it's gonna fall apart, or it's gonna be too dry. It was the perfect amount of bread.
It was like if there was no filling in it, the bread alone was just so good.
But the filling took it to another level.
I've been working on that recipe for about 8 years. For the dough recipe, and the fillings took about 3. Well, 2. Fillings took about 2.
Did that, y'all? Everything
And
don't come
like-
quick. It just looked like it.
Right? And I've been waiting to try these bombs since, was it March? Was it April? It was April.
It was a long time.
It was April.
I just
We were
remember
going to
looking at
take a
them on the
house
internet.
contraire retreat. We had a house.
yeah.
I'd like scheduled a house contraire retreat. We were going to go have them. I think you were doing them at Brainy Burlesque. And, or like, no, you were
was,
doing them at Cajun's.
That was
it
at Cajun's?
I don't know. You were on St. Claude.
I was
With the
probably doing
bombs.
them with Lefty Lucy.
Yes, you were doing it with
Burlesque
Lefty.
Bingo, yeah.
And we were
Shout
gonna
out
go.
Lefty Lucy.
We were gonna go to Burlesque Bingo. You are correct. And then I got COVID, and I went had to cancel about half of the retreat. And I was like, "But the bombs." But we were supposed to have the bombs. We were supposed to go to Burlesque Bingo and then maybe do karaoke and have bombs. It was Burlesque Bingo and bombs. And yeah,
Killing bombs.
May, June, July, August, September. I waited 5 months.
And was it worth it though?
It was so worth it.
Hey.
We have a comment that says the mushrooms with the pesto while hearing the music while the asses were shaking. Chef's kiss.
It's all about making a moment, right?
It was,
Yeah,
it was a
it
really
really
good
was.
moment.
I was eating mine before the show started, so I ain't get that one.
I was like, we have to have a cookout, and the cookout has to have a plate from Uncle and a drink from Auntie. Like you can't go to a cookout without getting a plate made by your family. And I was like, Uncle, who's the first uncle? The first uncle has to be Uncle Mike. Like it has to be.
Hey.
It has to be. It wouldn't be a cookout without Uncle Mike. Like it has to be the first.
I came real close to coming in some slides with a cigar, but it wasn't professional.
That would have.
And I've worn sandals once in the kitchen and only once, and I'll never do it again.
You could ask any uncle at a cookout if that's not the professional uncle cookout attire.
I'm saying.
I mean, you're right.
You wear anything else, he gonna look at you crazy.
And I was worried. I was like, man, I don't look the part. I'm just like in my t-shirt and my jeans and my chef shoes with an apron on.
Nah,
Like what?
it was good. It was good.
Nah, you.
But I'm glad you guys enjoyed them though. That's
No, I loved them.
the flavor bombs are a real labor
Yeah,
of
that
love.
was real good.
They're really good.
It was real good,
They're
bro.
really
You
good.
like everything had flavor. Like
Thank you.
it was really really good. Like no, I'm not even hyping you up because you're right here. It was really good.
Yeah.
you.
I would
I
definitely
had-
get some again.
I had the next one in the morning for breakfast, and it reheated well as well. It was great.
I got another
Fresh
question.
bread, man.
This is
Yeah,
totally
another
separate
question.
from the question that I wanted to ask before the break.
Go for it.
Is this another food question?
It is,
Let's go.
but it's not that. It's gonna be a quick one.
Go ahead.
Do you make chicken flavor bombs?
I could.
Yeah, he's looking for a chicken flavor bomb.
The chicken flavor bomb?
It's got to be a
You
chicken one.
gotta-
Yeah.
I love chicken, by the way. I'm a really black.
I could. The key thing, so like it's coming together in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So the key thing about the bomb filling. All right, I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of secret behind when you're filling something with dough. So if you're ever making a bread dough, and you want to make like a calzone or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The key thing is the weight. So my dough is a yeast dough. So when I wrap it, I roll it out flat, put the filling in it, sew it up, and then turn it around. So if I have all of these layers of bread right here and they start to rise, it'll rise up into the bun and your filling will go from like a shape like this to like a U shape. So you're not gonna get all the filling. So if I do make a chicken bomb, it'll depend on the cut of chicken and what can I put with it that's gonna make it heavy. I could do, what's coming to my head right now, which may not be your thing, is kind of a play on the vegetarian bomb, but I could do like a rosemary rotisserie chicken one with roasted chicken, gravy, potatoes, do it almost like a chicken pot pie inverted.
Sounds amazing.
I was about to say, he loved that.
Yeah,
Sounds amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
you know?
I mean,
I could combine it with like diced carrots and potatoes. And
I
like,
mean,
yeah, that'll work.
That sounds amazing
That
to me.
sounds like a November cookout to me.
Yeah.
Just saying, I'm inviting you back anyway. But next month you're going to be an audience member.
Yes.
And then so November that'd be perfect. I'm
We'll
just
talk-
saying.
we'll talk in
about
November.
it.
We'll talk
figure
in
it out.
November.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But you got to be back.
Because I might make them just privately for you guys.
That's even better.
Wait, and then if they bombs, right?
Yes.
So could you potentially freeze a bomb and reheat it, or
Kind of like what that is that we got from the empanada.
yeah, those didn't reheat as well though.
More like a bao, really like a Chinese bao, something closer to. So to answer your question,
Like, could a bomb be my safe food?
in theory, yes.
In practice, not yet.
In practice, I'm not sure.
We can try.
In that I haven't frozen a bomb and like kept it for a period of time and tried to reheat it in the oven.
I'm willing to be the sacrifice.
That would be the thing. If you got the bomb, you would have to freeze it within like the first 2 days of getting it, and then you would have to reheat it in the oven.
Yeah.
That'd be the only way to do it. If you tried to do it in the microwave, it would just
Oh,
be
hell no.
terrible.
It's,
But it could happen in theory.
we'll see. We'll talk about it.
We'd have to test it out.
We're willing to be your test kitchen.
I mean,
ultimately. I have
Always looking for guinea pigs.
a quick question and then a related question to what we were just talking
I'm
about.
with it.
But
And I still got my original question.
yes, how long have you been a kinkster?
Oh gosh. Oh Lord. 7 years? About 7, 8 years.
Somebody has frozen a bomb and it works. I think.
Oh snap.
Look,
Look at
that's what it
that.
was said.
Good to
Look at
know.
that. Look
Casey
at
said.
that.
Oh word.
Say that again. How long?
So about 7 or 8 years.
Nice.
Yeah. About 7 or 8 years I've been dabbling, practicing, reading, doing my thing. I I'm not so much a public player. I've only recently gotten into doing like public play with people that I'm not actively in a relationship with. I tend and let me know if this is TMI.
Oh no.
So personally, like
you hold that key.
My kink practices are very intrinsic with my relationships and my active sex life. And some people, it's not that. You can have like a spanking scene or something like that and have it be completely that, and that's perfectly fine. That's not how my usual practice works. Only recently have I been starting to take the sex out of it and the relationship aspect out of it and try to practice it, which has been interesting. But for the majority part of me being a kinkster, it's been me practicing kink in relationships. And for the most part, it's been great. I only had one rough experience, and that happens with any sort of practice.
Nice.
But yeah, so about 7 or 8 years.
This is a shameless plug. If you are in a relationship and you are trying to bring kink to it, we facilitate these practices.
You gonna want to talk to these people?
Last week, I did do a kinky date night with a couple. They very much enjoyed themselves. And I'll be reaching out to them like tomorrow to see which toys they want to add to their arsenal based on it.
See, Cinnamon doesn't know this, but when I saw her flog somebody at the Dom Experience show, I was taking notes, and I have upped my flogging game since. So what I'm saying, if you're looking to get into this and you want like good people to go to,
Appreciate that. Appreciate
that. Always means so much to me.
It's true.
It also kind of segues into my question.
Oh, snap.
Okay, so I'll give a caveat first. I went to school for dance and black studies and spent some time in Ghana and spent time dancing and drumming in Ghana and then came back, right? And so
we do need to talk. Yeah.
I love smacking ass. And one of the reasons I love smacking ass is because I get to take all the things I learned from dance and drumming, both like at Swarthmore and in Ghana, and like apply them to the ass. So like all of the like tones that I was learning, all of the like the bass, like the ways that you hit drums is the way that I hit ass. And now I get to tell people like this is how, like I get to use drum technique to show people like how to land a stingy like hit versus a like thuddy hit, and also like how to catch more air with it with the cupping, and like all of those things I nerd out on are because of my like dance and drum practice. And like one of the only reasons that I know how to shoot a backboard shot is because the PE teacher that I was working with showed it to me as choreography, right? And so like he was like, you step here, this is how you get your hands, and this. So I literally would just like practice the choreography of it, and every time I practiced the choreography of it, it would land. I say all of that to say, like, how do your other passions like feed into your pleasure practice?
Okay, one, I love that question.
Like you were showing how you wrap the bomb, and I was like, does this feed into how you touch bodies?
Yes.
And like skin?
Yes. I can talk about. Okay. We about to go off to Nerd Mountain. So are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? Let's go. So one, I also used to drum, and for me, I was taught how to drum on a drum set. So it was a lot of polyrhythms. It was a lot of like being aware of where your body was, being able to listen at the same time. And so with because my personal favorite thing is to flog people. And so being connected with the body, hearing the rhythms and things like that, like I can even tell, like not only can I look to like where I've hit, but I can also tell how hard I've hit and if I've even like moved a bit because it sounds different. And also, I also key into like how my partner's sounding, breathing wise, looking at the tension of their muscles, like all of that. You have to be aware of everything. And that's like, that like hyper focus you get in when you're drumming, when you're playing music, of like being in the zone. That's, for me, that's the best space. I feel so connected with the partner when I'm doing that. And then also with food, actually, there's a particular situation I was in where one particular technique granted me so much skill in this, and that was sounding. I was sounding somebody. I was sounding a woman. Which, if you don't know, sounding a woman is...
I was about to say, can you please tell the people in as safe language as possible, I guess, what sounding is?
Oh, Lord. Okay. So sounding is essentially when you insert an object into the urethra of a body. And so for men, you have a pretty much straight shot, For women, it's not a straight shot. And the tissue is also like very thin, so you have to be very precise in what you're doing. And so when the person asked me to do it, the reason they asked me is that they were staying with me at the time and they saw me piping chocolate. And so when I was doing, they were like, you have really good control with your hands. I think you'd be able to do this. And they coached me through it, like my first time, because y'all, I was scared.
Yeah, I felt it a little bit. Because I ain't with the sound.
Yeah, it's not my particular practice.
I'm sensitive.
But you do possess the skills for it.
I have the skill.
You have to have control.
You have to have precise control, especially when it's an intense physical sensation for the person that you're with. So you have to maintain control of a box that's like that big. And if it's moving, you have to be able to move with it without second guessing yourself. And if anyone's ever piped chocolate before, especially if you've done it in a restaurant or done like any sort of intricate designs, once you go, you need to go, and you have to have confidence in where you're going.
It's like diffusing a bomb.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Because if you mess up on a chocolate design, that could be a whole skillet cabbage being thrown at your head.
Wow.
Gotta have quick reflexes. Yeah, and also like, I guess for me, especially talking about food, as part of my pleasure practice, again, like I'm always kind of aware of like how food can affect a body. So especially if I'm cooking for a person before a scene or a sexual situation, I try to be very aware of what I'm giving them as well as versus afterwards. And that involves everything of just like, making sure like if I'm using chilies, to use them in a manner that can easily be cleaned up afterwards. Beforehand. So if I'm using something that has chilies in it, I'm normally going to pair it with yogurt because the way to get rid of capsaicin is fat and not water. Let me repeat that for people. If you're eating something with capsaicin, the way to get rid of it is fat and not water. So that's milk, that's sour cream, that's yogurt. It's not water. Or I'll save it for afterwards. So it's kind of more of like an enlivening thing. So if like after we've done a thing, or I'll just kind of like having that chill down moment, you can have something a little sweet, a little spicy, and that's going to kind of entice you to go further and kind of give you that second wind. You know what I mean?
This is that's a perfect segue to my question. I'm going to let you finish.
But yeah, so my other interests in like music, art, cooking, just like understanding people and like customer service in that way, really feeding my pleasure practice, because I really look at it. It goes back to what I said before, that it's a nourishing thing. If I'm with a partner, if I'm with a person and they're giving me their body in whatever aspect they are, whether it's just like a spanking scene or something like that, it's a sacred contract. And so I got to take that in the way of like, if I nourish you in this, I have to use my skills to nourish you in this manner so you come out of this better. I hate that phrasing, like better, because I'm not like, I'm molding you to be a better person. But if you're giving me your body, I want to treat that with respect.
Yeah.
As much as anybody else.
And give it as much holistic treatment as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah. On that note.
Yeah, segue.
You get it's time for a break.
It's time for
it's time for a
You
break?
get to ask your question.
Yeah, this is a good show.
We've been nerded out. Okay.
Damn, sorry, I'm talking too much.
No, you
not
good.
at all.
You good.
We're going to take a second for you to digest what was just said. Hear a little bit of music.
Bars.
Come back.
Eventually we'll get to your question. Sooner or later.
And
We're
we'll
going to
get back
open up with my question, goddammit.
This is the Dom
I don't want to
Experience.
get too far because we still got to talk about this test.
Presented by R.A.R.E Media. We'll be right back.
Oh, the test.
Dun-
Yeah, I'ma sing on it. Can't put a ring on it. I call her my codeine, cause she lean on me. Yeah, she fiend for it. Yeah, she fiend for it. Yeah, I be out in the bay. I'm tryna make me a play. Girl, you be fucking with lanes, but we do not entertain. Yeah, you gon' learn today. We put the money in safes. Gotta make sure that it's safe. Put
the diamonds in the face. Rolling bezel looking crazy. Now she wanna have my baby. Cause she know I'm hot shit, spitting that dope crack in the 80s. Body is looking amazing, just like the shit that I'm blazing. But she ain't got shit, get the fuck out, back to the pavement. Yeah, I'm not trying to be your man, it's a different type of vibe. I just want you for the night. Yeah, let me put it in your life. It's gonna make it all alright if you come over tonight. Yeah, she said she tired of waiting. We only fuck on random occasions. Yeah, she half black, but she Asian persuasion. I stay on my grind, no time for relations. Yeah, cool go so fast, man, it feel like I'm racing. Yeah, I came a long way from recording in basements. Yeah, now she won't fuck cause my wrist like a glacier. Yeah, stacking my bread, got a whole lot of paper.
Welcome back to the Top Experience Podcast.
Got caught in 4K.
We don't believe in ending our conversations during these breaks, apparently.
We just be talking and
So
talking.
you are getting us talking and talking.
You get the real experience though. At least you get real authentic conversation.
Eventually,
you know
when I go ahead and
it's
make
a show, we got a little structure, but we talking.
You gotta let the jazz be jazz. You can't be pissed off
Can't
about
be
the
too
meter.
commercial.
You just gotta play it.
Okay, it is finally, you finally have time to ask your
Oh yeah,
The
see? I was
legendary
about to forget.
question.
So we was talking about bodies, we was talking about food, and we was talking about sex.
Yes.
I was wondering, more specifically, the science of food and sex.
Okay.
In this question,
All right.
do you know like what foods help with blood flow? What foods help with like calming a person's anxiety or something like that, or like aphrodisiacs, basically?
Yes. I do. I have a pretty general, slightly specialized knowledge just because I work with a lot of couples through my private chef practice. But before I say anything to that, I want to say first and foremost, if you're ever considering like using natural aphrodisiacs or anything like that, one, listen to your body first and listen to your health first. I am not a health professional. So therefore,
Thank you for the
season
disclaimer.
everything that's about to come out of my mouth with a whole bunch of salt, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, seasoning. So, some of my favorite aphrodisiacs are. If we're gonna go, let's go from savory to sweet. So, actually, a lot of herbs, rosemary,
My
sage.
favorite place to be.
A lot of the reasons why those work as aphrodisiacs, especially when paired with either red meat or you can do them with chicken. It's very traditional to do it with chicken, but you can also rock it with vegetables, like a whole pan of roasted vegetables. Can't beat it. But what's nice with herbs themselves is that they're very aromatic. So those are one of the things that you're gonna smell before you, like if your partner walks into a place.
I swear, the
Or
food
when
smells
you
good.
sit-
I'm turned on.
Look, of that moment, like when you set a plate of food down in front of them and they can smell it and they haven't even like dived in yet.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Chilies, tomatoes. You can also use sweet peppers if you want. Ideally, you're looking for a balance with that capsaicin. You do have the caveat of what I'm saying before, is that capsaicin lingers on your lips and on your fingertips. So do be aware. If
Oh
you're
yeah,
eating
don't
it
try to
before
give
you
head
do
after eating
anything.
crawfish.
Look, don't do it.
We had an experience one
Don't
time.
do
Oh
it.
my God, it burned.
We
I
had,
was,
we had an
uh,
experience one time.
I'm gonna keep it short. I was a TA in my culinary school, teaching a classroom. We had a cocky kid who was making apple habanero pepper salsa.
Oh my God.
Told the kid not to wear gloves. He refused because he thought he knew everything. Next thing we know, he's whimpering in the bathroom. The reach in, gives me a vat, like a big old thing of sour cream. Says, "Don't bring it back, but go find him." I find this kid whimpering in the stall. I just slide it under and just say, "Keep it." He comes back to class walking bow-legged. Don't get capsaicin stuck on your fingertips or lips, people, please. But also,
No sets of lips. No sets of lips.
personally, some things I like to avoid just for my own personal diet. I avoid red meat before I'm doing a sexual experience. I find it to be heavy for me.
Heavy foods. Don't eat heavy foods.
And that's just how my body works. I also avoid cream and heavy sauces for that sort of situation beforehand. However, afterwards,
give me some pasta.
like a good fettuccine Alfredo afterwards when you're coming down.
This is exactly what I asked for.
Can't miss. You can't miss. Then going to the sweeter side. I'm a huge fan of sours and acids. So you can play with like apples, anything like a lemon tart or a citrus tart, cherries, strawberries. One of my favorite things to play with is that can be a segue from the dinner table to the bedroom is honey.
Okay.
So if you get honey and a bunch of sweet cakes,
Okay.
just have that dripping, and
Honey
that you
and
can
sweet
get
cakes.
everywhere and lick it off.
Good point.
I'm saying. And also,
Oh, the double
naturally,
entendre.
the most famous aphrodisiac, chocolate. And with your chocolate, you can rock that however you want to. If you want to go lighter to milk chocolate or darker chocolate, I prefer to rock around a 60 to 70%.
Okay.
One of my favorite things I've done for partners, I actually made her a chocolate mousse on top of a cookie, and I topped it with, she got me these little plums, these little sour plums that grow in her yard. So I went ahead and cooked them down with a little bit of cinnamon, orange zest, and simple syrup. So I fed her the fruit that she gave me
Come on, man. Stop playing.
with a little bit of chocolate.
I fed her the fruit that she
Come on,
gave
man.
me.
Bars.
Look.
Bars.
I only got 2 tricks.
They working.
She will kill me for me saying that on this podcast.
Sound like they're working.
I feel so affirmed in the sensual touch aphrodisiac tea, by the way.
For real.
Based on those ingredients that were just named.
Boom.
But yeah, so that's my list. There are several amazing books. And of course, I can't think of the one that I'm thinking of now. I think it's actually called Aphrodisiacs, which I should have brought with me because that's some of the most beautiful pictures of bodies with the fruit that they're talking about or the food they're talking about. And they also give you good dish ideas.
Would you be willing to have a talk about this during the future Dom Experience / Sensual Healing Festival / Conference / Retreat that's happening soon?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Yes, I
glad.
would.
I'm glad you said yes because I was just about to say everything you said don't need no salt. You season your food well.
Look.
You definitely season your food well.
Look.
And as somebody you know who fucks with that, I love it.
I'm so excited about
glad.
this.
I love the way you explained it. I love the way you you really put it together.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You
your
gotta-
experiential knowledge and wisdom is very valuable.
Yeah. The people need to hear that.
I'm excited. Like this lineup. If you've been watching the podcast, you know the lineup.
Because I feel like if people just
that's
start
happening.
living their whole life more intentional, like eating the food that, like, if you like already consider yourself to be like, if you like really take care of yourself in that area as well, like you'll be helping yourself in more ways than one. It's like you also doing the right thing for your body, not just because you're having sex. Like you literally doing what's right for you.
But I love what you said though. It's like it's a matter of living intentionally.
Yeah.
And this is getting less into like the sexual realm, more than just like my little soapbox.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I feel like
It's all sexual anyway.
with like American society in regards to eating, I feel like we've lost the idea of intentionality behind what we eat. Like we see food of like, okay, I need to eat vegetables and grains and meat, and that's kind of like to provide energy. But different foods do different things for your body.
Right.
Like
And you can feel that.
exactly.
Like yesterday I was craving salad
There you go.
Yeah.
because I didn't have any greens.
Like one thing I will always have in my kitchen. I'll always have peppermint. I'll always have ginger, in a few different words. Ginger root, ginger powder, because those are digestives. And sometimes I can have an upset stomach, so I always have natural digestives available.
And you either need, depending on what's going on, you'll need one that's warming or cooling. And peppermint does the whole, gosh darn it, the aliens of the herbal world, where it can be either warming or cooling depending on what your body needs. Adaptogens.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
Baby
Hit him with the
herbs.
SAT word.
Hey, look, it can adapt to what your body needs.
Well, y'all taking notes? I hope y'all taking notes. Or plus rewind because this is the internet.
Yeah, press rewind. We are here.
True.
But yeah, eating with intentionality, I think, is paramount. And then you can apply the exact same thing to relationships and sex. I think like when people are the most destructive in relationships and sex is when they're not intentional.
Exactly. Just
When you're doing things just to do them, but you don't have a purpose behind them. That's when
you're not even there though. That's the thing. You're not even present. You operate from either a trauma space or you're just not even operating. Period. You literally took yourself out of yourself just so you can not feel anything, you're still doing,
and therefore leaving like a whole wake of destruction behind you.
Right.
Whether to yourself or to other
because something
people.
still happens.
Exactly. And you can solve that by being intentional.
You can be more intentional if you
And
learn
the
how
more
to drop into
intentional
your
you
body.
are, the more you avoid situations that's gonna be. You can see where a person is. You can see what moments you should have and shouldn't have.
It's all about dropping into the body.
It is.
You gotta be here.
Being present.
As hard as it is, you have to be here.
It's also the theme of Sensual September.
Because you are here. You are here, so you gotta be here.
Gotta be
damn it,
here.
you gotta
Right.
Gotta be here.
Right.
Because otherwise, you fucking up yourself and everybody around you.
Yeah. There's also times like where sometimes it's just been like a rough week and I just don't have it in me to like lay out like a full menu. And every time I'm always just like, hey, like, sorry, I didn't do like a whole bunch. I just got like this. And you know what? God bless both of my partners because they are both incredible human beings. I've never had people who like loved me with gentle hands like that. But even like when I feel like I'm not given in the manner of like being present, just kind of like I've had a lot of bullshit, so I didn't have enough to give you like a full menu. They're always just like, Michael, you made me baked ziti made with roasted vegetables, top of my favorite cheese.
Like, stop playing.
I'm like, but it's one thing. She's like,
It's good.
you made this though.
Right.
Like it's okay.
Right.
You know, and sometimes it's okay. Like showing up is also being willing to admit to like, yo, I showed up and y'all, I ain't got my homework today.
Right.
I ain't got it today.
But I'm here.
Look, but I'm here.
All you need to do is be there. Everything else is extra.
And that's one thing my partners are really great at holding me accountable for is that they're like, look, have integrity and be here.
Yeah, that's it.
And if you just be real, like where you are,
Yeah, whatever that is, yeah.
we can rock with that. You need to be here.
Whatever that is. If I'm sorry, but like, if you are not in a great space, part of being here is like acknowledging that and not being afraid to say that. So people could know, even if you don't express your boundaries, people know if they're in the right space. If they're there, they will know, oh, that's not the energy I want, so I'm gonna respect that person and not do anything. Because if they care about you, they're not gonna upset you anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, anyway, list time? Is it list time?
It is the time for the list.
Oh, snap, it's time for the list. Am I naughty or am I nice?
Oh no, well, I guess
This all makes so much sense to me.
It's actually changed since the first time. First time I took it was like in 2012.
I love watching the like spectrum of change.
Yeah.
But like the first three, I'm just like, yeah. Yeah.
So it says here, and it does make sense. You're 92% voyeur and 58% exhibitionist. So that goes along with when you were saying earlier that you not much into the public play, but you like to watch.
Oh, I do.
You've
Actually,
watched a lot of.
yeah, I've watched y'all. I've been going to kink clubs since like 2013, 2014. And that's where I pick up. I've been going to like rope classes, flogging classes, knife play classes, which is really great. But that's I've always been kind of like an observer in that manner. And just like how I observed you flogging, and I was like, and I watched, I was watching you flog, and it kind of reminded me of that scene in Drumline where Nick Cannon's character is watching him play, but it slows down, and he's like, da, 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 da. Like I watched you flogging somebody, and it slowed down, and I'm like, oh, that's how that happens. And then when I was with my partner, I was like, I'm gonna try something a little different. Let me know how it feels. And then I was like trying it for myself and seeing how it felt in my body. So yeah, I'm a voyeur in that way of just like I'm kind of a creeper.
But it's like 92% voyeur, experimentalist, and non-monogamous. They're all like, they're all,
sense.
and they all make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Question.
Yo.
The greater. It says
60%.
60%. Because I know you are such a nice human being.
Outside of the bedroom.
I'm really curious about this degrader.
All right, so that's kind of hard. So there is one small gripe I have about the BDSM test is the title that I give myself isn't actually an option on here, and that is either a soft top or a service top.
It's the same thing that we were talking about with slave versus service submission,
Right.
Yeah.
Like on the test.
So degrading, that is not a thing I do for my pleasure, but if you request it of me, I am more happy I am more than happy to talk shit. I'm a nice person by training. I am a fucked up individual by nature.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I damn.
Like,
you're right.
I like being kind to people. It is rarely my first instinct.
Okay.
To be real. And oftentimes it's like, and I know that's not how you operate in life. So with the degrading thing, if someone's like, okay, I'm cool with you saying these things to me, and I'm like, are you sure? Are you doubly sure? Can I come up with stuff myself? Yes. All right. And we can just go into it. And flipping back to that, being like a service top is that like being a top isn't something that I need, but it's more like something that I'm willing to give. If that makes any sense.
Same.
You know?
I relate to that.
But yeah, it was kind of frustrating when I noticed that wasn't an option. I was like, well, all right, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm always on the search for a test that is beginner friendly, like the BDSM test is, while also being more holistic. I don't like the language of the BDSM test. For some of the questions is just like rough. And
It's
then
rough.
like we found John loves exploring the like percentage slave with folks on here, just because it's always interesting to see. But my theory from last week especially was like black folks who are kinky tend to score lower on the slave percentage.
And I think it has everything to do with the way
It has everything to do with the language.
The questions.
Like, and like it has to do with the language. Depending on the person, it also has to do with like how much service they're providing in real life. Because often when we're providing safe space, especially for black women to like be submissive or be a bottom, like it's like you're receiving for the first, like being that like caregiver or service top often. But the data is skewed a little bit in that because the language is on absolute.
Right.
And not on spectrum.
Exactly. And even like the question, I can tell you, like even when I was taking the test, like when I read those questions, like, would you be somebody's slave? I'm like, fuck no.
Right.
But that's also like, I'm not really a submissive person. I identify more as a switch because I feel like I could be submissive to the right person. That person just hasn't come along yet. It would require a lot of trust on my part because I have a lot of trauma with that. But that's just something that I recognize.
Yep.
But yeah, the language is a little rough sometimes. It isn't all encapsulating, which is hard because BDSM is both a very amorphous, constantly changing, constantly evolving thing. So even if they were create like the perfect test for now, in 2024,
it's gonna have to keep evolving.
Yeah.
And
like yearly.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Did you have any questions for us?
Actually, I did, because just going off of what you said before about like being black and being kinky, I know personally I had to kind of like wrestle with the fact that I liked being sexually aggressive, at least like as a larger bodied black male. I had to really like do a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Like not like filtering, but just like trying to like really understand, come to grips with myself and reconciling. That's actually it. I assume y'all have had to do similar work with yourselves. Was that difficult? Was it hard? Like, how did you guys? Because that was something that I struggled with. Because I was kind of going on my kink journey by myself. Yeah. So I felt like I didn't really have anybody to talk to.
So I am both black woman and black studies scholar.
So you see the whole system.
And also like first generation Caribbean American with the half of the family that's Caribbean being like Pentecostal. So a lot of my reconciling has come from like black religious deconstruction space. And then like there are certain things, I've lost some of my train of thought. There are certain things that are just always going to be a no for me. I can't watch folks, it's particularly, it goes in a spectrum. I cannot watch white men with whips.
Yeah, I can't.
It doesn't matter if we're in, like the only exception is this one Ren Fair dude on TikTok.
Yeah.
And that's because he's singing while it's happening and my brain goes into music. But I cannot watch white men with whips. I love impact play. I love hearing it. Depending on what space I'm in, it will subspace me. Like if I am around the sound, especially in the beginning of impact play, because I know how it feels in my body. But like, I then on the spectrum is white women and non-binary folks. And then like there's a black man with a whip on TikTok that I love. I love everything about him with a whip. Anybody else?
That's so interesting because
I can't do it. I've like reconciled being submissive, especially as John's submissive. And like I'm comfortable and safe in that space with him in ways that I haven't been before at all. We gotta take a break. Damn. Do you want to just go dark?
Keep going.
You will just keep going. It'll go dark and come back. But like I'm ever cognizant when I'm creating spaces for other people.
Right.
Of what they're bringing into that space societally.
That's a key thing.
So like even though I personally, can you press that button, babe? Even though I personally am desiring of more service submission in my dominance and exploring what it is to be a dom who also receives pleasure and is like vulnerable as a part of like that's like I still struggle as a dom to be vulnerable in my pleasure as a top, right?
That's
like
real.
In space.
That's real. That's very
personally
real.
I've been able to have that vulnerability with him as a submissive, but to be able to be open as a black woman, as a dom, publicly in pleasure or with someone who's not my like nesting primary partner in pleasure is difficult. And even though I desire like service submission, I understand what I'm doing as a dom and as a top and in this space as a radical act. Like of being. Just us being in the ways that we are being is radical, and so I'm willing to step over the like deconstruction that I'm doing societally and some of the wants and desires that I have not yet reached because I also have not found the right person for that to continue to do the work for my community. That makes sense.
Woo. What about you, Don?
Yeah.
I was like, we got deep today. We went deep enough that everybody was like, no breaks, keep going.
Look.
I'm gonna drink a sip of this water right quick.
I love black kinky people though. Y'all are my favorite folks. Y'all are my favorite folks.
For me, I'm gonna start off with something I struggle with. Just being kinky in general, and just being in the lifestyle outside of just BDSM. When I was first introduced into it, it is, and that is, I don't blame nobody for it, but it's predominantly white. And I didn't necessarily care because when I went into this, when I found myself opening myself up to this lifestyle, I did not have any boundaries. I had no boundaries for myself because I wanted to experience and actually feel.
You want to get the lay of the land.
I wanted to feel.
Like, I'm gonna go anywhere.
I wanted to feel wherever I was going.
I understand that.
I wanted to know if I like it or not.
I
wanted to know if I liked it or not. I can't just say I don't like it because I never felt it. So I needed to feel it. So I didn't set too many boundaries for myself. But by it being predominantly white, I got linked into so many circles who love black men. And at the time, it felt good and it was ego boosting because I didn't love who I was.
Yeah.
I
that's
also wasn't necessarily the happiest within my relationship, but our relationship was the happiest when we were playing.
Yeah. Oh Lord!
So-
We are in church, y'all.
So
Not happiest in our relationship. We were happiest when we were playing. Fuck.
So that attention I was getting for being younger, I was also younger at the time, and so all of these black dudes was like old and couldn't stay up and all of this stuff. I was young, always ready. I enjoyed it, and then I got into this one particular group where they used to host these parties where basically it was like BBC gangbangs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my dominant side was like, you know what? I kind of want to try this. I do want to be part of a gangbang. I don't know why. Like, I think it's porn fucked my mind up as a little kid, but like part of me wants to just say I did one and then knock it off my bucket list.
Right. Just to be like I was in one.
list.
I did one of those things.
So I haven't done it, but part of the reason why I still haven't done it because my mind got fucked up at this party. Like, it was a party and where they would like the guy was hosting and he'd be like, all right guys, everybody get on stage, and then the black men would all line up on stage. And then the white men would come with their wives and they'll have little wristbands. And then they'll have little wristbands, and then the wives would be like, and then the guy would instruct the wives, whichever one you want, hand him a wristband. And it'll be like 4 couples. Get the fuck out. And they will just walk up to these black men on stage, hand them wristbands. And then some of these dudes will have 2 and 4 wristbands, so they fucking all night. They'll go from this room to the next room. But that's how they operated that. And I said, you know what? Never mind. I am never getting on stage. I got on stage to perform poetry at this event. That's how you saw it. That's how I saw it. Because in my mind, I was trying to sell books to all of these kinky people. That's how I really got fucked up in it. Because like I was like, I ain't really fucking with this, but you know what? I'm going to go. Let me see what's up. Let me see if we're going to make some money. They want me to perform poetry before it starts off. I didn't know this was about to happen, or did that happen. But what fucked me up was I went back again, but as a masseuse, because it was also a BBC gangbang / couples massage party, and me and my partner was doing massages upstairs. And I like touching people. Right. So I was like, you know what? I'll do that. But that shit fucked me up. And then I got cool with some of the women that was in the gangbangs and stuff, and just having conversations, and just my fucking heart just be fucking soft for people. Yeah. And so I'd have sex with them by themselves and then get invited to a party where there's like a orgy, and I would do that, and then I was getting lost in that shit. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? It was just it was this one time I was out with my partner and her kid, but I was told to get lost. What? So I got lost at I was just so happy to be across the street. Wow. Okay. Because at the A-Lofts, there's also apartments. Okay. They had a party at the apartments, a daytime party. We used Kick. Oh yeah. Oh gosh. I'm telling all the secrets. Yeah. Kick and SLS. Oh God, Kick. So anyway, I got myself caught up in a lot of shit that I didn't enjoy. Yeah. Early on. Which happens. Which also took me away from the lifestyle for a while and got me wanting to create my own spaces. So I created a Facebook group, and this Facebook group I created was where I was able to invite people I actually liked, actually talked to, actually were kinky or wanted to be kinky. And we kind of started, and I started exploring BDSM. And another thing I realized I kind of messed up with early on is I am very hypersexual, and I wanted to have sex with everybody I did BDSM with. Yeah. And I did in the beginning. And that also fucked with my mind because I felt like I don't know. My mind was concerned. I was like, I'm taking advantage of people. I'm doing this because I want to have sex with them. This is what I kept telling myself. You're taking advantage, but I do want to have sex with them. Right. So I'm not. They want to have sex with me too. So like, what are you tripping on? Like, it was fucking with me because I keep thinking about. I don't know what I was thinking about, honestly.
Well, we can just get a lot of programming that like folks who do what we do.
Yeah, like it felt too easy, basically.
Yeah,
it felt too easy.
It's the voice.
It felt too easy. And so, like, I struggle with that a lot. And so it's like sometimes I would deprive myself of pleasure and kink and all of these things. And so, but what took me to a place to accept myself is actually weird. It might sound trippy, but I'm gonna try to make this as fast as possible.
Knock it out.
During the pandemic, I started promoting John and talking about John, and like I found myself crying on a live one day. I was doing poetry. It was like a whole little event, but I started talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and then I started crying, and then I released a lot of myself. And during the pandemic, I was just like learning a lot about myself, trying to explore kink as much as possible virtually. And like I was just missing kink and just like trying to figure myself out. And then like I was eating a salad one day and like I fell in love all over again with a Caesar salad. A simple Caesar salad I fell in love with during the pandemic all over again. And so I was eating Caesar salads every day. And then I was like, why does this taste so good to me? This has to be a reason. Is this ancestral? I was like, why do I love Caesar salad so much? This is more than just like a good ass salad. Like so I Googled Caesar salad and like the history of Caesar salad and just started reading about that. And that took me to a place where I found myself finding like what gods worshipped or get treated with Caesar salad. Then I ran into Men. And Men is a Egyptian god, sometimes linked to Horus. And Men, literally, his symbol. I'm gonna pull it up for you during the break. But he literally was a guy who walks around with an erect penis, has a goatee, and carries a flail that looks like a flogger. And he was an Egyptian god of fertility, and he was said to have orgies. He was said like women would come to him for fertility, like his statue. They would rub that penis to gain fertility. But while he was here, his cult came to him for that. Wow. And then I no longer felt guilty because I felt like spiritually, like this person, I am. That look at that.
Wow.
And I found that from loving salad.
Wow. Talk about it.
But also loving salad and then feeling guilty about my lifestyle. And then I found that and said, you know what? This shit was written already.
Yeah. Wow.
So that took me here. Yeah. So that's why I'm here right now. For real now. That's why I'm out here.
That's incredible. Like, that's cool. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Always goes back to food, y'all.
Yeah, fucking salad.
Goes back to salads. That's incredible, though.
It be deep.
Yeah.
It be deep over here.
Yeah.
Y'all show always be like this?
I mean,
Is it always like this?
Yeah.
Can I come back?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, literally.
Oh, man.
Did you have any other questions for us?
My heart's full.
I was like, that feels like.
That was beautiful. Wow. See, being black and kinky is such a interesting journey.
Definitely.
Because it's very much individual. Like, I feel like it's individualistic by nature. But at the same time, though, like every black kinkster I've encountered always has a really cool story. So
I find it a little.
I need that tattoo, by the way. I'm gonna get men tattooed on me.
You do.
Like, it's individualistic in ways that like are anti our culture and community, though. And I find like capitalism, social structures, like the fact that like sexual liberation for Black people often looks different than it does for mainstream society. And like what all of those things that we've told ourselves about sexual like liberation, which are intergenerational trauma responses from slavery.
Yes.
Right? Like, so to not be sexual beings is also to keep ourselves from being being sexual objects.
Right.
Right? Like in the same ways that I was watching a TikTok recently, and somebody was talking about the trauma where like if you have a kid and somebody's complimenting your kid and you like downplay the compliment. It's like, oh my God, your child's amazing, and your like a gut response is to be like,
we're told to humble ourselves.
Right, yeah. But it's because in slavery, if you had a kid and somebody was complimenting your kid, chances were if a white person, they're trying to buy your kid or have sex with your kid, like all of these things. So you downplayed their brilliance to keep them, because otherwise they were a valuable commodity to be bought or sold or used or abused. Right. And so the way that those things trickle down, like also makes it such that like finding community in this space where we have like liberated ourselves and are radical is hard. And also some folks who are in the liberated space are working on like white mainstream capitalistic paternalistic like modes of consumption with sex, right? Which
another piece I feel like, I'm sorry if this is taking us out. Another piece I'm realizing that my dom name came actually from like white slavery. Fucking Spartacus.
Dominus?
Spartacus. I love Spartacus.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all ever watched that show, and they should pay me for this.
I have not.
I love it. It's such a beautiful slave revolt story. Like, it's so beautiful, but I fell in love with the name Dominus though, because I love like how it rolled off the tongue. I love like, I'm sorry. I love when the slaves called this man Dominus. It's like, it just sounds good. And like, I was like, you know what? That's my name. I don't want to be called master. I don't want to be called sir. I don't want to be called everything felt cliche. It's like I don't see nobody calling nobody Dominus. And I like the way this sounds. I like the way it feels. I was like, hey, I'm Dominus.
You know what? I feel that. Although like my preferred moniker is sir, because growing up, like when you called somebody sir, it was like a medium of respect. And a lot of my dom topping practice is a manner of respect. So it's like, and though I could never be called like, I've never wanted to be called master. Definitely don't want to be called daddy. Like, call me sir.
Yeah. Right? Please don't call me daddy.
Don't call me daddy.
My God. I've been called daddy though. It's cool. I don't care, but don't call me that.
It's not cool. Don't call me that.
Flag
on the play.
I'm interested in a world where there's more communal space and where more people identify this as like a sacred contract, like you said, like that. I think part of what folks who have been in the lifestyle for a while, who are of mainstream society, have had the amount of time to be in it, where there are more people who understand this idea of a sacred contract, where there's like higher protocol, like all of those types of things that I find us as a community still finding and still like negotiating and renegotiating for ourselves. Like what does high protocol look like for
Black people,
for Black kinky folks? And I know that there are some folks who do high protocol in the same way that like it's like known, right? But like the things that I feel like I'm building as a dom are like the rituals and practices like look different.
Yeah, because because I feel like if I've never done a real high protocol situation. But even if I think about the rituals I do with my partner, I feel like my high protocol, personally speaking, would be more of a spiritual thing. It wouldn't look the same. Like there wouldn't be like a required uniform. It would be really ritualistic, very spiritual.
Yeah.
And like I think, for instance, like about the folks who came to the last experience who like were looking for more like traditional doms and leather and like dressing up. And I remember having...
That was a comment. And I like... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, good.
But I like that comment and your talk back point to it.
Yeah. And like I've been in conversations with other Black doms who like who have not been able to show, like who have not been able to be at a sex club or a kink club in streetwear. But like I'm most comfortable doming in my dunks. Like so, and actually, what makes me feel most settled and most comfortable and most like in my dom space is actually like not gonna be leather, not going to be like rubber, not going to be restricted, but allows me to have the
freedom
space.
of movement.
Right?
Yeah. I'm very similar.
We're gonna have to do a part 2.
We gotta do a part 2.
We are gonna have to do a part 2. This is not.
Sorry, y'all.
We're gonna have to do a part 2, and I ain't even mad about it.
Mike, you got a question for us? I got another episode.
Look. Pretty much.
We're gonna do a part 2.
We're
gonna
bring
back Mike back in November.
Ooh, for Scorpio season.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Birthday's October 28th, y'all.
This is like a birthday present.
But anyway, we got enough time to do church announcements. Okay, cool.
It's church announcements time.
Church announcements?
We will. All right, well, we just gonna do the church announcement on the Dom Experience screen. Cool. That's fine. What you got?
All right, so I will be performing with my erotic poetry group. It's not mine, but I perform with them. We call ourselves Esoterotica.
Hey.
It is erotica from New Orleans, and each show is going to be a different theme. So on Wednesday, show at 8 o'clock, the theme is going to be What That Mouth Do.
Hey.
Oh,
So everything one can do with your mouth, kinky, sexual, sensual, perverted or otherwise. All of our poetry is going to be about that. And it's not just poetry, it's also prose. You also get folks acting things out. You can get duets. You can get a whole bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, cover is $5. Again, that's the Always Lounge on St. Claude Avenue, 8 o'clock on Wednesday.
Nice.
Is it happening tonight?
It is not happening tonight.
It's next
week.
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah. Because it's already 8:43.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's why I was curious.
I'd be in real trouble.
What you got, babe? Or wait, Astrid, you got something tomorrow?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, what you got?
We both do.
Yeah, we
We
do.
have house party
You're right. We do have house party.
happening at
the
the Always
Always
Lounge in the
Lounge.
Twilight Room, right?
No.
Oh, it's in the front?
Actually, no, we're lying. It's not at the Always Lounge.
It's not? It
Let's
moved?
rewind. Tomorrow, we have house party over at Siberia, across the street from the Always Lounge, at 8 o'clock. John and I, yes, are both on the bill. I will be trying out a new performance.
Twilight Room, fam.
I don't know why it says the Twilight Room. It should not.
To the Twilight Room, 1040 Marion Street also.
Yeah, the Twilight Room has a different address.
Yeah.
It should not.
It said Twilight Room. You sure?
I'm sure.
That's what the flyer said.
If you show up to St. Claude, you'll see us. I'll be standing outside with my sexy leg out.
Oh, shit.
They're right
Don't
across the
look at
street
my
from each
flyer.
other.
It's wrong. I just noticed it.
Anyway, I'll ask them about it. But we have the house party.
Got
It's
the
at
house
8
party.
o'clock.
We somewhere tomorrow. They right across the street from each other.
It's at 8 o'clock. Show up
We gonna
and
be
you'll
somewhere
see us.
tomorrow.
Siberia, 8 o'clock. House
It's
party.
at Siberia.
Look for us.
I saw Siberia's post this week about it. Anyway, it's at Siberia. That's on Thursday. John will be our highlighted performer.
Yeah, I'm like a pop-up.
Our family favorite adjacent. And then Friday, I have double duty. I will be performing at Ballroom Burlesque at Royal Sonesta at 7 o'clock and at 9 o'clock.
Hey.
And then I will be performing at Sisters of St. Claude at the Always Lounge for, I believe, 10:30.
Hey, I remember that. I ain't see Sisters
That's
of St. Claude
Friday.
in a long time.
Mm-hmm. And then Saturday, we ain't got nothing because we going to be on a date day.
Hey,
So if you see us in the streets, we just in the streets.
give us tip money.
Yeah, give us tip money. And
Tip
then,
money's nice.
Be like, here, buy a drink. Go buy a drink or something.
yeah. And then
I'm not gonna buy a
Sunday,
drink, though.
we both have Opulence Hour. So
Yes, I'm
John
working
will be running
sound.
sound. I will be performing. It's going to be an amazing night.
I also have a few photo shoots that morning, but that has nothing to do with anybody.
Can you, you want to say anything about New Erotica?
Not at the moment because I have a lot of people, so I'm gonna take care of that first, and then see if I want to work with some more people.
You going to tell them what it is, though?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You booked and busy on that, but tell them what
Sorry.
it is.
So
Church announcements.
this is not really a church announcement, but a long time ago, I had started doing like new photography in New Orleans outside, mainly because I love New Orleans and I felt like I wanted to capture New Orleans, and then the people I was taking pictures with, they were either my friends or people who wanted to share body positivity in public, get that adrenaline rush, and or work on some body issues, body image issues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. One time I did I didn't want it to be sexual, so it wasn't sexual. One time I did a mother and her child. It was really, really, really a good project, but in the midst of all of that happening, I couldn't really share it because nobody really wanted it to go public in that way. And so I had a bunch of dope photography that I couldn't really use.
Right.
And then I abandoned that. That made me sad. And then I started listening to people on the internet, and they were like making fun of me and saying I was just using that to like take
They
pictures
stay
of
thinking
women.
that. They stay thinking that John's like a cult leader,
was
or that he
mostly-
has ulterior motives outside of just his
It was
heart.
mostly dudes jealous, but I didn't. I listened to that
That's what
dude,
that
and
sounds
so
like.
I would check myself just in case.
Heard.
It was like, like maybe they see something I don't see.
Right.
So I would check myself, and I abandoned it. And then I got second wind, started doing it again
Coming back.
during the pandemic.
Hey.
Then life happened again to where I got a little bit of mini depression
Okay.
and abandoned it again. Put that to the side. And now I'm here again with my eyes wide open and my heart full, ready to finally do
Let's do it.
a gallery, a
Let's
book,
do it.
and to show and work with people who want to work with me, because that's what it always was. I put out a call and people came to me. I never solicited like in a ways like yo, I don't mean this in no disrespect. These are people. Sometimes people I was like, even if it was like a sexual thing for me, these are people I wasn't necessarily sexually attracted to.
Right.
So this is like I wasn't doing that.
You were doing it to take the photo.
It's very, very fun times, and I really enjoyed this project, and like I really was in love with it when I first started it, and now I'm finding that love again, and I'm working with a lot of my artist friends now, so it makes it easier. So it's just awesome because they can use that for whatever they want to use it for as well. So it's like it's so many, like it's mutually beneficial. So yeah,
Yep.
It's awesome.
I'm ready to share it.
New
with the-
erotica is coming back.
It's coming back, 2023. If you know any gallery spaces, slide them in a DM because I'm still trying to figure out where I'm actually going to
Do the gallery.
But I know I'm doing it. Then I have times and all of that. I just
Right.
need a space.
That is on the horizon. We have the cookout on October 9th. It's going to be every second Sunday from 7 to 9. We have the experience
On November 18th.
on November 18th. It is my birthday edition. You want to be there.
You want to bullshit.
It is Scorpio season. And if
Gotta
you've
love it.
noticed, every experience has gotten deeper and deeper into kink.
Yes. It's,
So,
Great.
oh, and this was. Ooh.
yeah.
Greatness.
All I got to say is we bringing you to the dungeon.
We are bringing you to
We
the
are bringing
dungeon.
you to the dungeon.
Bringing the dungeon to you. Speaking of which, if you want the dungeon to be brought to you one-on-one or as much as a
couple.
group of 10 or fewer, reach out to us because we do that. We like facilitating the spaces.
Yeah. Hire us for your fantasy parties. We'll actually use the toys on you.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta tell you about something. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Say good night, nigga.
any final church announcements?
No, nothing major. See you guys at Esoterotica next Wednesday. What that mouth do?
This
that
might have
mouth do.
been like the record of our episode. Like we deep dove. This might be
This
the
is
longest
officially our
episode,
longest
Oh, yeah.
episode.
which I'm happy about.
We done killed the battery.
Right? We done killed the camera can't come back on. But this has been the Dom Experience
Be the
podcast.
first time a word I said about
Thank you for if you're still watching us right now. Thank you.
We appreciate you greatly.
We love,
Love
you.
you.
We hope you have a great rest
Thank
of your
you,
week.
Mike.
Thank you, Mike, for being with us.
Thank you guys for inviting me. This is a blast.
We will be back next week.
We will be back next week
Thank you to R.A.R.E Media.
with Bree from the Sparkling Diamonds.
Nice.
Outside of that, have a good night.
Good night.
Take care.
Peace.
Love under the dark light. Dance dancing into midnight. Your hands trace my outlines, slip to my waist, time for on the floor, right? DJ drop it low, low bass line, give me the solo. Let's speed up, cause you're too slow, yeah, cause you're on the place, about to blow. I am a trendsetter.